Welcome back to another installment of the Hip Hop Heroes podcast interviews. I told y'all I intend to continue diving into the stories of those who lived through real history, from the overlap of the golden age of hip hop to the street culture to the entertainment industry. And the man I'm speaking to today is uniquely qualified to take us into the world of all three. He is the former hip hop artist and producer, an 8-time best-selling international author, CEO of Wolfpack Entertainment, and a doctor of philosophy, business administration, and CEO of International B Films. Welcome, Dr. Bryant Gant, aka International B, aka DJ Nitty from New Jersey. What up, man?
Thank you, bro. Thank you, brother. That was a hell of an interest. I'm ecstatic right now. Thank you for that.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Right on. So, Nitty, my first question for you, man. First of all, I just want to ingratiate the people to who you are. So how would you describe yourself beyond what I've already said? How would you describe yourself and your work in general for however much you'd like to?
Basically, I'm passionate. I live a life where, most of my writing comes from that. So, I'm from Trenton, New Jersey. I want to get that off my chest right now. I am 69. I'm from every hood except for South Trenton, but I get love like the governor down there. Mm-hmm. And, rest in peace to my godfather, Blackjack and Blackjack's Wells. I gotta say that. But cause that's iconic. That bar alone got a lot of history, especially hip hop history. So yeah, I definitely shot that out. This is the perfect platform to do that. So you know what I mean?
Good word. Right on, man. We're gonna get into that. First of all, what's up?
No, all right, cool.
Okay. I was gonna say, if you don't mind, where can people find some of your work?
Oh, well, definitely if you know me or if you want to get to know me, you can hit me up on my Facebook page. It's got the real Brian Gant. Link to my books are there. Also on my Instagram page, say Uncle Nitty, all one word. And you can check the link there too.
Word.
Besides, the bookstores like BAM, Barnes and Noble, Black and Nobles in Philly, Amazon, Better World Books, Better Books. That's it. Mm-hmm. Anywhere where books is sold, you can find them.
Word.
Mm-hmm.
So, you told me you were a former hip-hop artist. When did you start MCing, DJing, participating as a practitioner in hip-hop, man?
Okay. I was one of the little silent dudes. Like, my uncle, DJ Snake, the late DJ Snake, he was one of the big DJs in Mercer County. That's the area I lived in, Trenton. And him, besides the original Ghetto Boys, Ready Red, there was other DJs that came up at that time. But Snake was that dude. He had that loud sound. So him being my uncle, that, and music already being inside me since birth, that just spawned, just to hear somebody playing music back and forth, getting a party on. I was always a little party dude anyway. So, my love for music, him spinning, him showing me different things, that spawned into my brother pushing me out there to rhyme at 11. So 9 is when I really picked up DJing, just spinning back and forth, learning the fader and everything. But it was by 11, that's when I stood from behind the DJ booth and wanted to grab the mic. And I was the first to do that, but my brother took it over. I fell back to the more managerial duties because I wanted to make sure he got on. But that's another story. But that's my start, DJing and, MCing.
Right on.
9
All
and
right.
11.
That's beautiful. R.I.P. to DJ Snake, man. That's what's up.
Yeah, definitely. He was a definite teacher. He spawned a lot of young DJs. And, well, today, they're older DJs now, but they know who Snake is. And matter of fact, I ran into one at, RP DJ G. We was at the park. I'm trying to remember the brother's name. And he had a battle against my uncle. And he found out that Snake was my uncle. And he's like, oh man, I lost a battle to your uncle. He had the loudest sound. I was like, yo, just him with that story just took me back to when he was doing his thing. So, it's real inspiring, I'm appreciative that I had him in my life. You know what I mean? Especially to have him as an uncle where I could creep in his room and touch his stuff. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So beyond DJ Snake, you mentioned so
Ready Red.
What else can you? Yeah, Ready Red.
Yes,
and
sir.
the Ghetto Boys.
Yes, sir. The original Ghetto Boys, the producer.
What
Ready
can you
Red.
tell us more about that group and their connection? I know Ghetto Boys. You know what I'm saying? Just because being a '90s baby, I got into the era with Scarface and Willie D. But tell me more about the Ghetto Boys with Ready Red and the connection there.
Okay, well, the connection to Trenton is two gentlemen. One, Ready Red, Colin, and the other one is Johnny Carmichael, aka Prince Johnny C. If you are a hip hop enthusiastic or know old school or even know the Ghetto Boys like that, Johnny C is the one that had the song Assassin. That was the Ghetto Boys song, Assassin. Ready Red was the DJ, but he was also the producer. So most of the tracks that the people love, and that's Trenton sound. That's the sound of Trenton. That's Colin. Don't get that twisted, And so even the earlier sounds, and even up to, and I'll talk to him about it. Mine's playing tricks on me. It's Colin. That's Ready Red. Yeah, that's Ready Red. That's
type shit.
Yeah, that's Ready
Right
Red.
on. So Ready Red's an original founding member.
Yes, he was one of the original founding members. And at the time, it was Johnny C, DJ Ready Red, 15-year-old boy from Texas named Sir Jukebox. And Bushwick was brought into the group. He was a dancer at a club. And, Red knew him and he's like, yo, he used to cut up in the clubs. That's what Red said. He used to cut up in the club. He used to work there and cut up, and the people used to love him because, Bushwick was a little short, wild dude. So, like, yo, bring him around. That's our boy. Before he was dancing, then he was rhyming.
Fire. Okay. So, you said Ready Red's from New Jersey.
Yes, from Trenton Central. Trenton. Well, he went to Trenton Central High School, played football. He's from Trenton, yes.
So how did they get to Houston?
Colin had went down there. He left Trenton, went down there, and they had this DJ competition. And he entered, and he ended up staying. I think he met Lil J and told Johnny C to come down. Johnny C came down and popped off from there. That's what I know. This
group with this lineup with Ready Red.
Say it again?
This still Jay Prince signing them?
You was breaking up. I didn't hear you. Say that one more time.
I was saying, is this still Rap-A-Lot Records?
Yeah, it was Rap-A-Lot Records at the time. Yeah, that's when they first started. Yeah.
Okay. Right on.
If you remember I'm trying to remember the name of the album cover, Well, they was all standing with the black trench coats and the black Godfather's hats, and they was in front of a Chevy. It was like an old Chevy station wagon, but it was like painted up, candy painted up, like the streets.
That's the self-titled, like the first album.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, the tall, light-skinned guy that's standing on the side, Ready Red, Redbone, Ready Red, yeah. And the little short guy with the gold chain, brown-skinned guy, not Bushwick, but the other guy, that's Prince Johnny C. Shout out to Johnny C.
Shout out Johnny C. Shout out RP. So Ready Red, he's no longer with us?
Yeah, no, Red passed in 2019. Yeah. That was the hurt piece when we found out Red passed. Yeah. Me and Red got close. We got closer through the game because we used to play the PlayStation together. Like, you know, we play online and, you know, mail back and forth and stuff.
No, that's fire. Let's see. What about like the rest of the New Jersey hip hop scene? Like, excuse me.
Okay.
What? Yeah. Anybody else you can build upon? Like, as far as like known figures that you know what I mean, the audience, the listeners might want to hear about.
Known figures that came through my town. If we're going back to the era, we're going back to 86, 87. That's when I know. That's around the time Headache came down. And when Headache came down, his brother Jay came down. And that's when, you know, things really start popping out the woodworks. But then again, as far as the hip hop scene has been going on for a minute, especially in the 80s, because my brother was a part of that scene. And him and a cat named Tiny Tim. And
Tiny
my
Tim?
brother was called, Tiny Tim. And my brother was the Mesmerizer. And they used to rock down a place called BT's. Now, the dude that ran BT's at the time, Danny Duke Singleton, he is instrumental in the trend hip hop scene early back in the day. Him and 3 other people. Well, I could get to them, but Danny was one of the first.
He ran, what was the name of the spot?
The name of the spot was called BT's.
BT's. Okay.
That
was like a lounge. That was a lounge, like a club?
It was like a lounge club. Yeah, that thing was big before they knocked it down. It sat right there alongside the Delaware Canal in Trenton.
That's fire.
Yeah. Duke was definitely inspirational in the hip hop scene at that time.
Word.
In that era. Yeah, in that era. And that was when Jay first came down. And that's when Almighty Force.
86.
86, 87. You had mad groups. Suicide Posse. Boulevard Mossy. You had Almighty KD.
Who was the second? After Suicide Posse, who was the second act you said?
After Suicide, I said Boulevard Mossy. But you know a Poor Righteous Teacher stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you know a PRT. I can't forget them. That's that was based them and oh my God, you gonna kill me. You gonna be how you forget me? I didn't want to say your government name, brother. That's why. But oh man, yeah, he's gonna kill me. Anthony Hill. Yeah, I had to say your name, bro.
Say it again.
His name is Anthony Hill, aka YZ. YZ, he had a bunch of joints. He had a master plan. Who's the man with the master plan? Yeah, that one in my Coca-Cola jeans and my Coca-Cola jacket. Yeah, that's YZ, bro. If y'all don't know, that's old school. Check him out. Anthony Hill, YZ.
Definitely.
Another Jersey artist.
Yeah,
Now, I'm on Central Jersey. In my era, there's a bunch of Jersey artists. I'm not taking nothing away from my state. My state got some gunners. You come across them, you're gonna know you've been in some. So, my state is reckless. You reckless with it. Other states, y'all nice. Okay, I don't take nothing from you. Red, let you know. Our state is crazy. Our state is wild, but yeah, that's why Jersey stands out as far as in hip hop. People connect us with New York, yeah, but we Jersey. We Jersey.
Right,
We're not taking nothing away from any other places, but we Jersey.
Right.
Just recognize us when we walk in the door.
My friend and business mentor, Karev, aka Heritage Hip Hop. Shout out Heritage Hip Hop. He's from New Jersey also. He always told me something similar about, New Jersey and how they stand out. You know what I'm saying? The hip hop landscape, you know what I mean? And the whole comparisons to the New York scene and, some of the rivalries that go on with that. And it's very interesting.
Well, yeah, because it's still a bias even with us, being from Jersey in certain areas, as far as like getting the love and the respect. That's why Jersey is reckless. Like, yo, we know we not gonna get it, so we gonna take it. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
You gonna see something out of us. That's basically what it is. We ain't just gonna go by the waistline like everything all easy. Nah, you coming out scathed. You know what I mean?
Right.
If you come out, that's how we play. That's Jersey. That's the mind state. So when you got Jersey MCs, they going for the killer. They going for the kill. And, that's just the mind state. Because, like I said, people group us with outside. They group us with New York.
Mm-hmm.
But even New York be like, nah, y'all on the other side of the statue. You know what I mean? Not all of them like that, but you get in certain areas and like, you know what I mean? Nah, we can't give you that. You gotta go home. You know what I mean? We gotta go home with this. We can't give it to you right now. We gotta keep it here. But, it is what it is. What is that?
I was going to say, speaking of going for the kill, though, you mentioned PRT, you mentioned Jay. I heard, correct me if I'm wrong, but I heard that Wise and Jay had battled around that time.
Yeah, in the projects. Now, I think that was right in front of Coach of Freedom, Craig. Yeah, I think Coach of Freedom, that was in front of Coach of Freedom, Craig, yeah. I'm sure, sheesh, yeah. Yeah, Boo Boo brought him around. Excuse me, Gary brought him around. And shout out to Gary. He brought Jay around. Battle Wise. Yeah. And they went head out. They went head out. I give it to them. Does it say who's the winner? I ain't gonna say. But let's just say you had to be there. That was one for the making. And you gonna say, well, you can't say you ain't gonna say who won. Nope, I'm not gonna say who won. Cause if you like Wise, you like Jay, it's like back and forth. You really couldn't compare styles except for the fact that they was spitting fast. You know what I mean? Like, Jay could drop jewels, but Wise was dropping jewels, and Jay had funnies and relatable, and Wise was hitting with the facts, and and bombing. It was put like this. It was something to see, and it was like a collage of different things happening, and that was hip hop back then.
That's beautiful, man. That's fire.
I had this young brother say, he was saying, nah, they don't be making enough records. They said, listen, brother, at one point in time, it wasn't about selling records. It was about who was the nicest in the skill.
Yeah, man. I always say the same thing, man. From a cultural standpoint, hip hop started off. It wasn't about, who sold the most, who got the most records, and it's always been about who, culturally, it's always been about skill. It's always been about the art first. You know what I mean? It's always been about who was the nicest, at least from an MCing standpoint, and that still matters. I champion that on my platforms, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we try to push too. You know what I mean? I'm down for supporting and showing love to all the different like newer branches of hip hop, the hip hop tree, as I like to call it, like where they prioritize different things. Other than necessarily being like the most skilled lyricist, they might prioritize other things. But at the end of the day, if you MC, who's nicest is always gonna matter. But yeah, man. So, but it was close though, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. That's what's up.
That was close. That was like.
So you was there for that.
Yeah, I caught that. Yeah.
That's crazy.
And that was on the humbug too. That was just creeping through the projects on my way back out west side. Because I was living out west when it happened out north. It happened in my old project, Valley Homes, aka BLP. Violent Project.
Wow. That's what's up. Any other battles you ever get to witness, or any other like live performances from like, artists?
Oh yeah. Well, as far as battles, I've seen a bunch of battles, but as far as battles that's known, that was MCs known in my city, yeah, I think one of the biggest battles, and if I remember right, Duke was behind this because he had the parties at the Lawrence Center where this happened at. And Mimi Brown was the radio personality who in Philly. And she had a hip hop show. She came to the Lawrence Center. And it was a battle between my man Almighty and it later found out a family member, a guy named Force. And them two battled. Now, these two guys was known MCs. And I think they was friends at one point in time before this. So if somebody picked them against each other or something had happened. So they was going to battle. And they battled at the Lawrence Center. And being though I knew both of them personally, I don't even want to. I mean, like everybody knew who won that one. They said who won that one, but to me, it was just one to watch. I'm not even gonna go there, but it was one to watch. Shout out to both of them. But that right there is what with the competitive jersey thing, and that's what make us do what we do. Is because of that.
That's what's up. So you mentioned also around the time in the mid '80s, Headache had pulled up with Jay.
Well, Headache was down here first, and then
he
brought Jay. Then he brought Jay down.
Let me get it right, because I know Headache has told some of those stories. But
he ain't lying. He ain't lying. He did not lie.
Right. What who else was around? Like if you don't mind if you remember, like who else was around like in the crew? Like with Headache and Jay.
Well, what I know when it first popped off, I remember my old head, my man Panama. I remember Panama from Camp Meter. Yeah, everybody knew Panama, I mean, like, he was just a cool ass dude. Everybody knew him. So I knew Panama had ran with Jay and me, I was on the other side of town. So, I had encountered, other hustlers and, people doing anything. And I was coming up at that time. So I was one of them kids that was on the porch that came off the porch and played in the street. You see what I'm saying? But we had a set of rules on my block. I'm from Bryn Mawr, from up Stuyvesant. Anybody from Trenton, they know that area. At that time, I was living on Bryn Mawr. So a lot of stuff that was going on, they was out east side. They was out East Trenton. I don't think Jay started coming over our side until, what was that, like 80, 88, 89.
Mm.
Cause he started, messing with some girl on my block named Rachel. So
Okay.
that's how our connection really, got there.
Expanded.
Cause he, brothers on my block, we was always rhyming. We was doing that since it came out. When I moved on Bryn Mawr, that was like in 82.
Right.
And, we basically broke that on the street, got some cardboard, then somebody broke out and had a flat piece of linoleum from out of somewhere, and then we was there from there. So yeah.
Cardboard on the floor, you talking about like B-boying?
Cardboard on the concrete, on the asphalt, just middle of the street. And then I don't know how somebody had this big plank. It like took 3 people, 2 on the end and 1 in the middle to hold it and brought it out. And it was linoleum.
Wow.
Like a square piece of linoleum. And you talk about backspin? We was doing all types of tricks. We had a whole crew. We was battling other streets. Down that's hip hop.
Facts.
When breaking we wasn't really worried about breaking, because breaking was like, okay, the first breaking was like, okay. But B Street, Wild Style, there was the movies.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Classic.
Then when Crush Groove came out, it was like, it wasn't breaking no more. It was just straight rhyming and DJing.
Mm-hmm.
So, the elements was there in the movie. So, not saying nothing against breaking, but, after a while, we wasn't with the breaking too, because we stopped breaking.
No, I feel it. Nothing too, basically, what I want to ask is there any hustling you witness, like behaving, Jay? Like you witness they hustle at all?
Well, put it like this: I don't clock a person's pockets, but I've seen certain things. They ran with certain people, and if you was already getting money, you were already running in that circle, so you already know they was getting money. But I know it was the little people that they had under them. They was doing little things like showing off, like they would have the rubber bands around their hand. Like T.I. is not the first rubber band dude. He's not. No, they was doing that early. They was doing that in late 80s, early 90s, bro. Unless you was doing that then, I don't think so. I don't think so. That team was doing it. Eddie and them team was doing that shit.
So we got it on record. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's record right there. That's certified stamp. And they was doing different color rubber bands for how much money they had, stacks of that they just did. You know what I mean? Like whatever that the color scheme that they had to represent, that's what they had. You had dudes with gold rubber bands, like double gold rubber bands around their arms. We up at the high. This is young boy shit. So yeah. So that's and the high was like a fashion show anyway. Like I said, just and what Hetty said, that when he came to Trenton and people was getting money, they was getting money.
Right. Everybody.
They was actually getting money. That was no lie. He did not tell no lie. You stop getting money in Trenton like that, I say about like 92. That's when things started getting crazy. That's when everybody was popping out with secret indictments and, when you thought you was good, you wasn't. You know what I mean? Like,
that's so hard to
you had to jump out boys, weed and seed, and, it was crazy. Yeah, because, it was crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. I remember that you could come out on your porch for about 2 hours on the Saturday and go back in and go to the mall. You got enough to go shopping, go partying today and tomorrow and the rest of the week until you do it again next Saturday. That's how they used to be. You know?
They had different color rubber bands. So like a G was one color.
Different stack. Yeah, like if you $5 grand was blue, If you made 10 grand or something like that, that would be green. You know what I mean? If you got stacks of 50, that would be like orange or something. Like it's crazy.
That's crazy.
But that's what their mindset was. That was what they did. We on the outside like that's what they do? Okay. You know, like we ain't knocking. That was their thing. That's how they side did things. We didn't knock them, that's how they did it. As long as it didn't interfere with what we was doing, it didn't matter. Which most of the time it didn't. Because they was over there, we was over there, and that conflict didn't really, that didn't come into play until later. Yeah. Everybody was basically live and let live. Like you'll run into, put it like this, the most you'll have with the hustling gang with beef is, stick up boy try to get you, so you gonna get him back, or y'all beefing over some chick.
Right. Always a girl.
That was it. Yeah, that was it. That's where the beef came from. But other than those two elements, everybody got along. Everybody was doing their own thing. It was so much money out there. You ain't even have to hustle. You could have worked and still have money. That's the crazy part about it. They could have had a job at U.S. Hills, CVS, CV Hills. What was the other one? CV Hills, General Motors, Hibbert Group, all these other places around here that like factory or whatever. They had the Chappelle Company. You had Train for the refrigerator and like the air conditioning Train. They was there. American Standard. The world can't sit down and take a dump without us. Yeah, American Standard was there. The big American Standard building since 1919. That was there. Yeah. Oh yeah, man. What was that? Where Angel used to work at? Oh shoot. I'm trying to remember the name. It's not there anymore. Congolium. A place called Congolium was there. Oh man. Like Trent was a factory town.
It was a what kind of town? Sorry, I cut you.
It was a factory town. Like everything. The Barbie factory used to be here.
No, I feel that. On that note though, is any other like spots, like famous spots you want to shout out, like clubs or like spots that hip hop used to really gravitate to?
Oh wow, yeah. Back in the day, there was a bunch of them, and most of them was like under 21 clubs at that. Yeah, it was a spot. It was called. It was originally called. What was it called? They renamed it the Fun House, but it was called the Electric Playground.
Wow.
It was originally called Electric Playground. That's when the parochial schools and the suburban schools, that was their place that they went when they went to high school, the little teen club. They was going there at first. And then for some reason, I guess the guy lost the building. So somehow a guy named Tommy got a hold of the building. And he turned it into a hip hop club. So they still had the Electric Playground name, but they changed it to the Fun House. Now that place was rocking. And when I say it was rocking, I mean that place was rocking. I mean like if people was coming performing there.
Right.
I opened up for a bunch of jokers like Black Sheep, She Ali, Frush Dickens, Master Ace, Lord Digger. Yeah, I opened up for a bunch of artists, bro.
Yeah, you had Mad Brooklyn.
When I was the artist. Oh yeah, definitely. Shout out to Brooke. Mad family out there.
That's what's up. Nah, that's what's up, man. Speaking of, I remember we talked a little bit off record. You mentioned Kane. Didn't Kane come through?
Oh no, I did work with Kane. I did security work for Kane.
Damn.
Mm-hmm. I did security work for Kane, Sheila E, Slick Rick.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. I think my last two jobs are that Roxanne Shante and the boy Machine Gun Kelly, and that's the story.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
What kind of story? You gonna say that? What kind of story?
Yeah, I'll tell you, it's the truth. And my man Ishmael, he'll back me up on this because Ish pulled me into the job. One of the boys at Philly was
Machine Gun Kelly.
Yeah, the Machine Gun Kelly that was trying the bad boy. The one that came back down.
Yeah, when was this?
When was this? This was 2015? 2015, 2016.
Okay.
Which was it? Which one? I'm trying to think. 2015, 2016. I want to say 2015. I want to say 2015 in Philly. He had a show at the TLA, and I had worked. It was three of us on the job, and I remember this vividly because the front door at the TLA, they tried to play us. Like, we told them who we was with. We told them we was going to be working with them tonight, but we told them who we was with, and asked them to get who we was our contact.
Right.
And the guy acted, he acted like a straight jerk, but later found out we was real, and he had to eat that because I made sure I cussed him out on my way to do the job. And my people just looked at him like, you deserve that because you don't know who that is. So yeah, that night was just crazy. But right after, it was the after party, we walked down to a club that they was hosting. They was hosting him.
Yo, real quick. Yo, Nitty, did you change something? You sound a little muffled than before.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I tilted my earphones. My bad. What part did I sound muffled?
Right. Just let the last few words. You good. I just wanted to let you know before we went on too long.
Okay. All right. So we went down to the club, and they had set up a little VIP area. And way there VIP was you walk up these steps, and once you walk up these little steps from off the club floor, the VIP is an open space, but they got one side to the left and the whole another side to the right. So Kelly's side was straight to the left. So, coming up the steps, his side was to the left. The other people's side was to the right. Me personally, I'm standing in the middle of the equator. So I'm in the middle. I'm in the middle of the steps between Kelly's side and the other people's side. That's where I stand. That's my post. You ain't got to tell me. That's where I'm going to stand at. Because now I know I got the package. The package is over to my right. If something happened to the package, that means I don't get paid. The action is over to the left. So I got to make sure I'm peeping what's going on. I'm peeping this dude. He beaming Kelly, and then he's saying something. And I'm just, I'm on the side just watching. And, I'm just waiting for dude to move. That's basically what I'm doing. I'm just playing possum, waiting for dude to move. So they're going back and forth. So now it's not really a scene, but people started to notice. So Kelly say something to dude say something to Kelly. And then, he's basically like pissing Kelly off. He's saying little shit to her, and he's getting pissed. But he's like, I ain't gonna do nothing, big man. I see you over there. I'm like, I'm chilling, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I'm right here. But dude didn't want to do nothing. Like, he would have jumped. But he like he said, I see you, big man. I see you right there. I'm like, yeah, I'm cool. I ain't move, and he see I ain't move, because he knew I wasn't gonna move until he moved. But they was gonna give it to Kelly that night, because his boys was like, we got a problem. He's like, yeah, I'm right here. You know what I mean? But like his boy said, but we got him up out of there. Ain't nothing happened, so we got him back on the bus. So, but yeah, that was a funny night,
You
man.
y'all avoided some shit that could have popped off.
Yeah, because I leaned over and I talked to the dude that had a problem.
Right.
I leaned over and I talked to him, and, me and him came to an understanding. Like, he really didn't really want no problem. It's just he felt he needed to voice his opinion, which as a man he can. It's all about if the person going to respond to it or not.
Right.
But if you feel you need to say something, hey, go ahead.
Right.
What I'm doing to stop you, I'm just going to stop your action.
Right.
You know what I mean? You can say whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, in that type of business, you got to use your head. At the same time, I'm from the street, so I'm already aware of situations that's going to escalate. Like you could feel it. I don't know if people really can feel it, but I can feel it.
Right.
Like I know when it's about to go. So that's when I'm already prepared. I'm making sure whoever I'm with, they out of the light. That way, if there's anything happens, you can't say I put you in there. I got you out of it.
Right.
So that part.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. So, man, dude, you wasn't playing when you said you done lived a lot of life.
Oh yeah, bro. Oh yeah. We need to get into that at the other part, but that's
right. I know. We might have to do a sequel.
Hey, we can. I got a lot of balls.
Right, man. I ain't gonna take up too much more of your time, bro, but I did want to ask though, for the people, can you tell the listeners like what the books and works you got out already, like by name, and then like, 'cause I know we talked about where they can find your work earlier, but I just want to shout you out, man, because you got a lot of dope work.
No problem. Areas. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. You can find my book, Cutthroat, Only One Can Win. Now, there's a bunch of cutthroats out there, but Only One Can Win is what will get you to me. So that book debuted number 5 on the bestseller list in 2 different categories, and then turned around and went number 4 mystery, suspense, and thriller. So do yourself a justice and pick that up. You can pick that up, like I said, Amazon or matter of fact, skip all that. Go in the Facebook, look for The Real Brian Gant. That's Real Brian, BRYANGHANT. Click that, click that friend or follow. The link in the description. Click into that, you'll get an autographed book and a message. So there you go. That's how you find me. Now, what I got coming out? What I got coming out is something lethal. It's it's something that never been done before. And I'm be honest with you, never had no urban book come at you like this. I got a mystery about to come.
Word.
Also got a spinoff from a character from Cutthroat. These 2 books, Unsportsmanlike Conduct, the Bryce Travis story, and Can't Take the Heat. The Bryce Travis tragedy, and Can't Take the Heat, the Tiana Heat story. These 2 books, guarantee you, if you didn't know who Brian Gant is, you will by now. You will by then.
Word.
I ain't gonna say I'm gonna be your favorite writer's writer, but I am gonna be your go-to author.
That's what's up. Word up, man. No, so yeah, to all my listeners, you know what I'm saying, the heroes of the Hip Hop Heroes podcast, you know what I'm saying, support a great creative, a hip hop pioneering, first early generation artist, creator, contributor, witness, you know what I'm saying, DJ Nitty, he's a real one. You know what I'm saying? It's your boy Hero. Before I go, man, is there anything else you want to add, or we about good, bro? Man, I just want to, like I said, I don't want to take up too much more.
I want to appreciate you for having me on your platform. That's just one. For sure. 2, I'm going to say R.I.P. to my brother Sean. aka Flockman 88. If y'all a Ravens fan, y'all already know who he is. Yes, that's my brother. He passed away Wednesday. Love him to death. R.I.P. Sean.
R.I.P.
Second, I gotta give a shout out to the team, Wolfpack family. Y'all know who you is. I ain't gotta say nothing. Y'all represent them Wolves like you supposed to. And I love it. Shout out to my sister, my god sister Sharon. Thank you for being there. You already top tier. You already number one on the team. The rest, my kids, love y'all to death. Y'all already know who it is because y'all make me me. At the same time, I do it for y'all all day long. And I won't stop as long as I got the breath in my body. Second thing, R.I.P. my mama, which should have been first. She always been in my corner. She no longer here, but I know she here. And she pushing me to put them books out. Believe that. To my family, the ones that really family, love y'all to death. To my followers, keep following me because I got more to come. And I don't want to get too deep, but you know who you are. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for being there. So I ain't gonna say no more. But
appreciate you, man.
It is what it is. Wolf, and I got one thing to say though. I live by these three things. And I call it the reason why you won't be successful in life. One is insecurity. If you're insecure, you won't make it to the top because you're too worried about what's going on around you instead of your business. Two is work ethic. If you ain't got one, you better get one. You ain't get one, you better buy one because only you gonna make yourself rich. And number three, and this is most important, excuse my French when I say it, stop listening to motherfuckers who don't got no dreams. Because if he ain't got no dreams, how the hell you expect him to see yours? I'm going to leave you on that note. Unc Nitty, a.k.a. International B. I'm gone.
Out. Hero out. Peace, y'all.